Welcome back to Melodic Memories of the Lights Monarch. I'm Casey, and I need to start by saying happy birthday to We Stitch These Wounds. Yes, the Black Veil Brides album that started it all. We Stitch These Wounds turns 16 today, day of recording, the 20th of July. Absolutely wild. It is 16 years old. Sweet 16, I can't believe it. I feel like, honestly, the 10-year was just a couple days ago, last year maybe, the other day. But no, it has been 6 years since even Restitch These Wounds came out. That is insane. An amazing album, one that I have broken down quite a lot, actually, in full. One of my first episodes, Restitch and We Stitch These Wounds Deep Dive. If you're interested, go check it out. It's been a long time since I've done one of those episodes, but hey, I would love to do more. I haven't really the time, and it's unfortunate to say that because it is an album that deserves the time to be made. So I'm glad I did it for that one. I have other albums to do it for, and maybe one day I will get around to it if it's something that people actually, want to hear. So happy 16th all the same to We Stitch These Wounds. Can't believe you're that old, but congrats for still being around to Black Veil in general. And of course, congrats to an amazing album on the milestone. Also, keeping it in with Black Veil Brides, they finally gave us the cursed fragrance to order. Now, everyone that is international, that isn't from the UK, where they are from, where they originate from, you can order it. Granted, I don't know if it's still available now. It went live, I guess, this past weekend for everyone that is in Canada, the US, that wanted to order it. They finally are able to. I was lucky enough to have Crystal get me a bottle. I'm very excited to be able to smell it and wear it myself at least once. I don't know if it will be exactly my kind of scent to wear on me, but I'm excited to have it as a collector's piece all the same. I've actually never been someone that has bought a specific perfume or cologne. I've never went out of my way to go and find one like from an artist. Like I know Taylor Swift in the past has done some, a lot of other pop artists, I believe. Britney Spears comes to mind, like for the perfume side of things. As for men's cologne, maybe like George Strait, like there might be some country singers that do it, but it's very few and far between. Regardless, I've never actually went and seen a perfume with an artist on it thinking like, yes, I need this. But Black Veil, they have something on me that I cannot wipe clean, and that is the exact same kind of idea that I want this fragrance to have itself. I don't want to be able to wipe it clean. I want to smell like it forever. I hope it smells as good as I am hyping it up to be, but regardless, rambles and nonsense aside, if you want it, go check out Cursed Fragrances, their website, or even on their socials. I'm sure there's links there too. You can order it now if you're in Canada or the United States. So hopefully everyone that wanted a bottle is able to. And it said internationally, so I'm assuming it is more than just Canada and the United States if you're not from the UK. But regardless, just wanted to let everyone know. Also, it is very nice to see that Cece, the drummer for Black Veil, he's been gone for a while because of family matters, and my heart still goes out to him and his family. But it is nice to see him doing well, at least being active online. And I say that because he posted to Twitter this past week, responding to Octane's post asking, "Who's the band you've seen live more than anyone else? How many times?" He responded with, "Black Veil Brides, 876 shows, and I always had the best seat in the place," with some rock and roll and smiley emojis. I just had to mention it again because I'm happy that CC is okay and doing as well as he is able to show. And I hope he continues taking all of the time he needs for whatever is going on in his life. So everyone that is a Black Veil fan, everyone that's listening, please send all your love out to CC. He posted, but obviously is not back to the band quite yet. So give him all your love. He will definitely need it. And next up, Black Veil's most recent post online. I needed to touch on it because it is about the Vindicator Tour 2. rather the UK/EU portion of the Vindicator tour. So it's very, very cool to see that they're going to be hitting up a lot of different spots in the EU, in the UK, and they said themselves that they're bringing the full Vindicator tour to you early next year. Tickets are going fast, and get yours ASAP at blackveilbrides.net. The link is on all of their socials. Go type it into Google even. You will find it. And if you're interested, if you're over there across the pond from me, go check out Black Veil Brides, because they are definitely worth your time if you haven't been able to tell by how much I talk about them. They're going to be playing a lot of Vindicate, a lot of that whole record, and I'm very excited to see videos, live vicariously through all of you that are able to attend, and just know, yes, I am very envious of you, but I am so happy for you as well, because it is one of the best shows you could possibly go see, for rock and roll and metal, mind you. Lastly, I would be doing a disservice if I didn't say thank you to Chris. If you're listening, man, I hope you're doing well, but thank you all the same for posting that pause print that you got. That frame you got from Certainty is certainly sick. I am a very big fan. I know that that was one of the iconic frames from that music video itself, and it's awesome to see it up on your wall and in the guest room nonetheless. So anyone that gets to stay will be seeing Andy looking incredibly demonic, and I'm so happy about it. So congrats, Chris, on getting yourself one for both you and Amy, and I do hope you're doing well, and thank you again for just posting that online, and I was able to see it. Love it. Love it, and I'm glad I'm able to live vicariously through not only you, but all the other fans that have been able to post it. Those that are interested, though, and have not seen it or are not following Chris, go check out his Twitter, @Ghost2Haunts. If you're at all interested, that pause print is on his page. Also to mention, BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. I need to talk about this because they posted possibly one of the coolest episodes ever. I am very, very happy that somebody else is talking about the fact that there's this thread, if you will, that kind of ties together all of the records, especially specifically when it comes to Richard Villa and his artwork. I'm not going to go in depth to it because it is not my place. I have not done the research that they themselves were able to do and actually look into, but I did check out part of the episode. Granted, I am not finished it. I'm going to put that out there right now. Apologies for not having the time, but again, I do mean to continue it, and that's why I wanted to talk about it here, because it's something I haven't seen anybody else really ever talk about. So their post on Twitter goes as such: new episode is out. Did you know that there's a BVB lore? We deep dive into BVB's album artwork and imagery, where we find a lot more hidden clues. So it's their newest episode. It's on their YouTube. Go check it out. BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. It's an amazing podcast. Nicole and Ruth, they have just such a love for Black Veil, and I can obviously relate to that wholeheartedly, and I'm just proud of them, and I wanted to mention it because it's, again, something that I have not seen anybody else talk about, and it's something that not a lot of people even know about. I knew a little bit, a tiny smidgen of a bit, because looking at the artwork myself and being like, oh yeah, these ones kind of coincide. Hey, here's a little theme from that one to this one. Like, I get it. But the fact that they were able to dive so deep, insane. Congrats, girls. I'm very, very proud of what you guys have been able to do. Very proud. But again, go check them out if you have not somehow already done so. And if you have the time, check out the episodes where I am also included, because I have featured on their channel a few times prior. Now, to kind of move past Black Veil, I know I yapped about them for about 10 minutes or so, but it was definitely worth it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. But I need to talk about a brand new album release that came out on Friday. And I don't have a whole ton to say about it. I just have some quick thoughts. I've only listened to the album maybe twice, but I feel like it's needed to be said because of how anticipated it was and how they're usually in the same conversation as Black Veil Brides, and that is Motionless in White with their newest album, Decades. Now, to get it out of the way, Decades, I do believe, is a decent album. And I know that might upset a lot of people just saying that. Motionless in White means a lot to a lot of different people out there. And I have two people that are very close to me that adore Motionless in White, one of their favorite bands of all time. And obviously, I haven't gotten to that point with this band. I never have gotten to that point with that band, but I still appreciate what they're able to do. And my introduction to them really was through the Trinity of Terror tour and whatever my friends were able to show me. So when it comes to this new record, technically it is only my second new Motionless album, in terms of being there for the releases of. And I must say, the last album was a lot stronger. And I don't mean to compare, apples to apples here. I don't mean to compare their last album to their new one. This one should stand on its own. But when you make a record called Decades, and it kind of hinges on that whole reality that they've been around for 20 years, and they kind of, in some sense, make it a bit of a love letter to the prior eras and prior songs of the band by rehashing parts of what they've already done, reusing same lyrics, reusing some same themes, some same, honestly, themes in the sense of both lyrically and musically. And I must say, it doesn't exactly hit for me. It's crazy to say, and I might be in the minority saying this, but my friends did agree with me. Crazy to say that Black Veil Brides, this time around with their new record, was heavier than Motionless in White with Decades. And I must say that shocks me. It's always the other way around. Black Veil is not the heavy one of the two. But this time, well, just listen to the album. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you listen to both back to back. Now, that doesn't mean it is a bad album just because it's not heavy. So many albums, so many out there are not heavy, and I adore them very much. And with Motionless, yes, a lot of people go into them expecting something heavy. I mean, look at the marketing they did for this record. Look at the album artwork they did for this record. It goes hard and looks very intense, very what you'd expect to be a very heavy record, and that's not what we got. And again, that is not end all be all. I'm going to stop beating that dead horse because that is not exactly the point of what I'm trying to get at. What I'm more so trying to get at is the things that this band tend to copy from others. And I know nothing is ever going to be exactly original this day and age. It's just impossible to do. And I am in no way right in saying that it sucked. I don't think that this album did. But I will say, two Motionless in White fans, one that has been a Motionless in White fan the entire career of this band, all 20 years, told me wholeheartedly, and the other one agreed, disappointment. It was a good record, but it was disappointing. Because he knows, both of them know, Motionless is capable of so much more. And I myself don't have that kind of outlook. I don't have that perspective that they were able to bring, and that's why I bring it up. But my own experience with the album, I thought it was decent. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to listen to it, like, ever though, but I also went into it not the most excited either. I didn't highly anticipate this record like I was with Black Veil, or Noah Kahan, or 21 Pilots, or hell, even J. Cole. And I'm not even that massive of a J. Cole fan. But what I'm trying to say is this album, it just kind of, for me anyways, came and went. And I know it's still brand new. It's doing amazing on the charts. It's literally number 4 on global Spotify. It hit number 1 on the metal and rock charts on iTunes. So it's doing crazily well. Again, it was very highly anticipated, and I don't really know the entire conversation around what people are thinking about the record, but obviously sales-wise it's doing well. And in my opinion, I don't think that it deserves to do as well as it is doing. I'm happy for them, and I do believe that they as a band deserve recognition for the artwork that they're able to create and the path that they pursue. I was just caught off guard that there are other records that I do believe are better and what are the basis for this album, like, they didn't do as well. And granted, every artist that releases a new album, technically the album prior was a basis for that next one, inspiration and evolution. This one kind of forgets to do the evolution part, in my opinion. It kind of just is inspired, and that's about it. And it's also inspired by a lot of other outside influences. And Be it Bring Me the Horizon, even some new metal influence, Falling in Reverse, Black Veil Brides, what have you, all these different bands that are in the scene. It seems like they're picking and choosing and just doing it themselves. And it doesn't seem very inspired or, I don't know, creative. And some of the lyrics are a bit lacking compared to past records. And again, I'm speaking from a place where I don't know the entire history of this band because I wasn't there while it was happening. But from a fan that was, or at least got very heavily into them, they did themselves say that it felt kind of like how Life of a Showgirl felt when it came to Taylor Swift, and how the lyrics really suffered from their happiness. And it's unfortunate to say, because you want your artist to be happy. You want them to thrive, regardless of who they are, if they're an artist you enjoy. And this record seems to be lyrically very similar to where the lyrics suffered because, hey, the singer, the guy that writes it, is now happy. And I don't know the full story. I'm just going off of what my friend said, so take it with a grain of salt. But rambles aside, the album was decent at best, and I do believe it could have been far better. Some tracks that stood out, I guess, was the one with the Dark Divine guy. I did enjoy that one, but I can't really give a favorite because I don't really have one. A lot of moments caught me off guard here and there, be it the EDM elements that are in this record, a lot more of the synth instead of heavy, which I expected to be the reverse. And some of the vocals actually caught me off guard. Like Chris, damn man, those high vocals, love it. But if you're doing that in these songs, one, why did you rap? Just completely out of left field. Ronnie was right, unfortunately. But why did you rap? And two, if you can hit those high notes and such, why didn't you sing Sunglasses at Night on the right pitch? You know, why didn't you hit those notes? Just a question. Again, completely your call on how you made the songs, and I'm not here to tell you did wrong. I'm just asking the question, and that's all I am here to do. So that's all I wanted to really touch on with Motionless in White. Again, I don't have a full breakdown. I don't have a full review. I'm just kind of spitting what I originally just kind of got, my first initial thoughts, if you will. So it was good for what it was. I just, again, don't think I'm going to be thinking about this record next year, couple months from now, even couple weeks. I think it's going to be one of those ones that just kind of gets swept under the rug. And luckily, I have a different record that I find far better that I can go sink my teeth into anytime I want from my favorite band, Black Veil Brides. Also, speaking of records, an upcoming one is going to be 21 Pilots with More Than We Ever Imagined Live. A live album, finally! Finally, we are getting that Clancy live album. Granted, it is not the show that they said that they were recording. It is just the movie that they recorded at, I believe, Mexico City. I'm very excited for it, though I'm a little disappointed. And I will get to why I'm disappointed. Everything is great. The live album, I'm excited to have that. I'm excited to listen to it. I'm excited all around. I'm just disappointed that they didn't do any physical release for the movie portion of it. They're doing physical release for the album, so the actual music, that's fantastic. You can have it on vinyl, you can have it on CD, you can even have a fancy vinyl coffee table book or whatever they're calling it. Similar to what they did with their Blurry Face 10-year release. So very, very cool, but where is that physical movie release? Where's the DVD? Where's the Blu-ray? Like, I will literally take it on DVD. It's going to be shitty quality, but let me own it. Let me have it as a fan. I have Black Veil Brides Alive and Burning on Blu-ray. Give me that, but for 21 Pilots, please. And I don't know why they didn't, because Mark, one of the guys that is not a part of the band, but pretty much does all of the video that you see for the band. He's definitely one of the most important people behind the scenes. He was a physical media advocate. He even said that he wanted it to be put on DVD at the very least. And whether or not we're getting that down the line, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that was one thing that left a bad taste in my mouth, or at least left me wanting more, because the whole announcement was fantastic. I'm glad that they have a live album coming out with a live stream of the movie and a Q&A attached to it at the end on August 8th, which you can buy tickets for. I believe they're like 21 Canadian. You can go buy tickets for it if you want to, and you'll be able to watch the movie on August 8th. You'll be able to take part in the Q&A. It should be very interesting. I just hope that that question gets brought up. Somebody better be able to ask, where's the disc though? You know, because we're getting CD, we're getting vinyl. Where's the DVD? Where's the Blu-ray? Hell, where's the 4K? I'm not expecting any 4K. I would expect Blu-ray at this point, but I'm not expecting 4K. And hell, I could even take DVD if you really don't want to go out of your way to make Blu-rays. But why? That is my only big question, is why, where is it? That is what kind of upset me with that announcement. But all the same, I am very excited to finally have that fucking version of the line with the scream. Oh, and Nico Heavy Soul. Oh, like, I'm excited. Okay, anyways, when it comes to 21 Pilots, I'm looking forward to that live album. Would hope that they answer some questions about it when that Q&A comes around. We will see what actually happens. And speaking of 21 Pilots, some festival nonsense went about this past weekend. They actually played Ride on a ride. Yes, Tyler Joseph himself got into a Ferris wheel cart, and the Ferris wheel spun all the way around. Absolutely insane. I did not expect ever to see an artist in a Ferris wheel while singing, while performing. 21 Pilots does it different. And mind you, that whole Ferris wheel, the way it lit up, kind of looked reminiscent of Dima, which is so, like, thematically great. I love it. Just crazy. He was on a ride, he sang Ride. If you haven't seen the videos, go watch them, because they are just like, wow, I did not expect that. It's one thing to climb up like a giant pillar or something and stand at the top of it or what have you. He was on a Ferris wheel. 21 Pilots. So many people ask, what even is 21 Pilots? Well, they're everything. That's exactly what they are. And to keep it in line with 21 Pilots, Rock Sound themselves announced a brand new Through the Memories, quote-unquote, souvenir photo book for 21 Pilots themselves. Their post went on to say, as 21 Pilots prepare for their biggest ever London headline show at All Points East Festival, we go back into the Rock Sound archive with exclusive and never-before-seen live photos from 2014 to present day, alongside key interview quotes from Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn as we celebrate their incredible UK concert history. It does come in 3 different covers, one of the band and one of Josh and Tyler each, respectively. So very cool to know that that is going to be a thing. If you're interested, you can go purchase it from Rock Sound right now as we speak. And while you're there, you might as well pick up that Black Veil issue too before it goes away. And on top of it all, the last thing I did want to touch upon was 3. Now, you might be like, what is 3? Well, with 21 Pilots, they've been kind of putting in all these tour videos from this festival the word 3, all caps, above a door, on the ground, wherever you can kind of find it. And it's making people theorize a little bit. And I want to know everyone's opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that there's going to be a possible 3rd album for 21 Pilots? And I say 3rd album in the sense of the Clancy, Breach. Is there going to be a 3rd something else? I hope not. And that's just because of artistic integrity. They said the story was over. And the ending of that whole everything it was means so much to me that it is hard to put into words. The whole try again, the sun will always rise, just keep on trying, you're always going to fail no matter what you do. It's about getting up each and every day, just as the sun rises and sets, you gotta try. That is the message that left me with. And that is such a powerful, I have goosebumps right now, that is such a powerful message to leave. And if you're gonna just undo it by giving a, true ending, quote unquote, I can't stand behind that. And that's just me as a very, very deep fan of 21 Pilots and a very deep fan of literature and how stories should be what they should have always been into the artist's interpretation, and whatever we interpret from said artist's image should be whatever we interpret it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe those aren't the right words to use, but regardless, what I'm trying to get the point across of, I don't want a third album of this. Well, I say third album, but I don't want another one to do with this whole storyline. Leave it be. And I know 21 Pilots, they are the artists, they are the masterminds, they are able to do whatever they want. It's their art. I just would feel kind of wrong about it. And I really hope, fingers crossed, that they don't do anything to undo what they've already done with that story, because I do think it was ended perfectly, especially with Dragpath being the end, being that kind of solace within the pain that we were feeling as fans with finding out what the album was. I really hope they don't try to undo or give some sort of swan song, what have you. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're there, please leave a like and subscribe. Share it with your friends if you're able. It means a lot every time you do so. Now, to move on to movies for a quick moment here, I wanted to touch upon Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, we got a trailer for that just this morning as I'm recording. And I gotta say, I'm not disappointed. I'm just kind of indifferent. It looks cool. It does look cool. I'll give it that. But with this kind of B-tier ragtag group of heroes, and I say B-tier loosely, believe me, I know the X-Men are fucking sick, and Fantastic Four are cool too. All of them are cool in their own right. But what I mean to say, it isn't the kind of feeling that we had with Infinity War and Endgame. And it's something that I don't think they'll ever be able to recapture. They worked 8 years to get to this point. And half of those 8 years were spent on building up an entirely different character, being Kang the Conqueror. And then they just kind of beeline from that. And I don't know how I'm not caught up on the MCU. I'm currently on the Marvels. I just finished up Loki Season 2 not too long ago, and I did actually so very much enjoy it. So we'll see what comes of the Avengers Doomsday. I'm not, again, high hopes are not there, but it looks cool for what it is. I just don't know what to expect. And I feel like I should have felt that hype that I felt with Infinity War. Again, for perspective here, when I was sitting in Walmart, I got to see the very first Infinity War trailer drop. I was waiting for my friend to pick out whatever they were picking out. I was sitting there in a little seat. I looked at my phone, watched the trailer, and instantly knew I needed to see it. Instantly. That scene of Captain America holding up Thanos' gauntlet, gritting his teeth, and he's all bearded up and everything, I just instantly thought to myself, I need to know everything. I need to know how they got to where they got right there. I need to know why Captain America looks like that. I need to know how they beat this threat. And they try to recapture that. They did. They tried to recapture that in this new trailer, but I do think they unfortunately missed the mark just a little bit. The one scene of Thor literally jumping in the air, smashing down onto Doom, Doctor Doom, just as he did to Thanos, and Doctor Doom just kind of like deflecting it, just literally holding up his hand or like his arm, and it just kind of ting, does nothing to him. Like that's intense. That's holy shit, but I didn't feel it. You know what I'm trying to say? And obviously other people watching the trailer might have felt completely different. But to me, I hope that it's good. I'll just leave it there. It was a cool trailer. I wish I felt more strongly about it. Maybe it's because I'm not caught up. But again, I wasn't caught up with Infinity War when that trailer came out. But it made me want to catch up. So the fact this trailer didn't do that is a little unfortunate. But I'm excited to see where it goes all the same. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't see how they would ever beat Doctor Doom, and maybe that's the point. Maybe it's supposed to be another Infinity War. But again, that raises the question of why. So obviously we will see what the hell happens come the movie's release later this year in December. And speaking of movies, I wanted to touch on the Odyssey just real quick, as I personally think it looks fantastic. So many impressive tidbits towards the film have been released, be it from different interviews. They're very, very intriguing. It looks like a lot of love and soul and heart went into this whole film, with the practical camera effects, the actual things being on screen and not just being CGI'd. I am very, very intrigued and very perplexed on how they were able to do all of it, because it seems larger than life, and that is what the Odyssey is supposed to be, and that is why it is filmed on entirely IMAX cameras. And that is one of the things I wanted to touch upon, is the IMAX camera bit. I do believe it's amazing it's filmed on IMAX. I do believe that is the true way to watch it, as Nolan intended, or whatever the meme is going around right now. But when it comes down to it, so many people are going to go see this movie and just think it's alright, because they're not getting everything that was filmed. They're not seeing what Christopher Nolan wanted you to see. You're seeing a quarter of it, a chunk, the literal middle piece. And that is so upsetting, just absolutely upsetting to see that that's what people have to put up with. And granted, I haven't went and seen the movie myself. I'm not going to go see the movie myself unless I'm able to go see it in the IMAX theater. But again, the nearest IMAX theater to me is almost 5 hours away. And we don't have a true 70mm IMAX theater. There are differences for those that don't know. Your IMAX theater might not be a quote-unquote true IMAX theater, as there are only 41 actual IMAX, true IMAX, that 70mm theaters in the entire world. Worldwide, there's 41. You don't think that they thought this one through very well, hey? But again, it's not even their fault. It's not Christopher Nolan's fault. It's not even really IMAX's fault. Granted, they should have tried to meet the demand a little bit, but IMAX was almost dead. IMAX was a dying film technique. It wasn't reasonable to ever film on IMAX. There's a lot of downsides to it, but it is so real. It is analog. It has the film grain. They literally digitize it, then undigitize it, and stitch it all back together. Like, it is crazy the steps that go into making a movie purely on IMAX, and that is what personally drives me to want to see it. Like, I love Greek mythology. The Odyssey, I haven't experienced the story in full. I know what happens, but I haven't read the book, and I haven't read the Iliad either. I do have both of them, so eventually I will get to them. And I do, again, adore Greek mythology and a lot of other mythos. But it's unfortunate that I myself would love to go see this movie. I would have already seen it. But because I don't have access to an IMAX theater, I don't have a desire to go watch it if it's not in IMAX. And that makes me raise the question even further. Once this is out of theaters and put onto 4K or Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, what have you, whatever you want to watch it on, hell, rip it down to VHS quality if you really want. What is it going to look like? Are we going to get that IMAX enhanced, quote unquote, that we see like with Disney Plus Marvel movies? Or what's it going to be? Is there going to be a 4:3 version similar to Zack Snyder's Justice League? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's something I have a big question about, because if I have to wait to see it physically, like actually get the disc and watch it on my own TV, is that even going to give me the full experience? Because if it's not, I still don't want it. And that's something that they kind of created, a problem they created themselves with this film, is that it's hard to want to see it when you aren't seeing the entire thing that artist intended you to see. It's not like you're watching a sitcom where they stretched the image or added the extra bits that you weren't ever able to see on TV because it was broadcast in 4:3 and you're seeing the stuff that didn't matter. No. All of this stuff that he filmed, every single inch of every single frame, he wanted you to see with purpose, and to make it feel even that much more larger than life, to live up to the story. So whatever happens when it does come out physically, we'll see what happens. I will definitely talk about it. But with the movie itself actually just not being what I want it to be in the theater that I'm able to see it in, fingers crossed I have a moment to make a trip down to Edmonton and at least see it in that IMAX quote-unquote theater that I was able to see the 21 Pilots movie in. Because if I don't get to see it in IMAX, I will absolutely be kicking myself. So fingers crossed I'm able to make that happen, but if you were able to see it in IMAX, hopefully you enjoyed it. Also, just a quick tidbit to touch on another separate film, The Batman 2. It got delayed again, this time to February 18th, 2028, so it is a long ways away, but all of that aside, that disappointment aside, the actual clip that he posted for The Batman, oh my god, it is filmed so well. Like, the lighting is perfect, you see the whites of Batman's eyes, and it's like a dark scene too, so like, you have to see it to actually understand it looks impressive. And I'm very excited. Obviously, I'm a Batman fan, a DC superhero fan, Batman fan all the same, even though, yes, I do prefer Superman. Sorry. But also not sorry at all, because hell yeah, Superman. But not saying one is better than the other. I appreciate both for exactly who they are as separate characters. And the Batman 2, I am very excited for, and have been very excited for since part 1 came out nearly 5 years ago. So it's been a long time, but we'll see when that eventually drops in 2028. Now to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, not movie related, but this time video game related. And it is a bit on the more unfortunate side. I'm not talking about anything specifically, as I have not seen this leak for myself, so don't worry. No spoilers shall be uttered here. I will not ever talk about a leak in detail, because usually I don't even look at them myself. And this time I have not looked myself yet either, but oh, am I on the edge of my seat to just wanting to click it, because I'm so curious. I have to actually fend for myself on Twitter. I cannot look on my For You page. I have to be diligent. So if I want to see it on my own terms, I might actually have to go look at the leak. But the leak itself was Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Yes, Missing Leak, if you will. The entire CGI opening, as most Kingdom Hearts games do have, that entire CGI opening for Missing Link in particular has been leaked on the internet. And it is unfortunate to say the least, because apparently it has a huge implication and a lot of importance towards Kingdom Hearts 4. And obviously we already knew that would be the case with Missing Link. That's why we were supposed to get it when it was announced and said, hey, it should be out this year or next year. And then it was canceled. We haven't seen anything to do with Missing Link. It doesn't exist. It itself is missing. And what that means for Kingdom Hearts as a franchise going forward, I don't know. What this leak was actually able to show, I don't know, but man, am I ever curious. And I feel wrong for wanting to go watch it, because my core doesn't want to see it. I would go the rest of my life without ever watching this leak. But the fact that I am unable to go on any socials without seeing like screenshots from it, I've had to scroll past it, makes me sad. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to accidentally be scrolling and just, oops, I didn't squint my eyes enough, so I just seen exactly what that was. You know what I mean? And again, it's for a game that doesn't exist. So will it be relevant still? I think it will be. Will we ever see it redone in some future title where they do redo Missing Link just in its own new way? I don't know. Will we see this stuff in Kingdom Hearts 4 maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have, and I do want to go watch the leak, even though I am entirely against them. So we'll see. I'm very torn. We'll see what I end up doing. And if I do end up watching it, I'll at least let that be known and be clear about it. But I do not at all in any way support any leaks of any sort of any kind for any of my favorite things. So maybe don't go around sharing it. And if you're sharing it, do it in a safe place where people know what they're about to see and they're expecting to see it, because I myself as a fan that tries to avoid spoilers like the plague for every single medium, you'd be doing us all a massive, massive favor. And that is all I have to say about that in particular. To kind of close up the episode though, I want to touch on some new and upcoming releases, as I always do. The new release that I know of, one of anyways, that I have written down here, is the album Jinx from the band Waterparks. So that is going to be my new album that I'm looking forward to this Friday. I don't know of any others in specifics. I might be just completely blanking, and if that's so, apologies. Yell at me in the comments. Feel free. But when it comes to Jinx, I am very excited for it. I have kept away from all of the singles from the album, so I don't really know what to expect other than the fact, hey, it's more Waterparks, and that's always something that I personally enjoy. So regardless whether or not this album is absolutely amazing or absolutely terrible, I am excited to see which of the two it will be all the same. And I hope it's not just medium mid, the same as I thought about another album that came out last week. But with Jinx by Waterparks, that comes out this Friday. So keep an eye out for that. And as for the new releases that released last week, I already touched on it, but again, we got Motionless in White with Decades. We got Scatterbrain with his new single Bitter, absolutely fantastic. I was a big fan of that one. And The Living Tombstone, Rust Revolutions. It is a remix album of the album Rust. Gracie Abrams, Daughter from Hell, her new album came out just on Friday last week. And The End by Cami Cahoe, as well as Nickelback with Rattle the Cage. Those should be all of the new ones, and if I missed any, again, yell at me in the comments below. Let me know all of the music that you were excited for, and again, please leave a like or a dislike, whatever. If you didn't like it, let me know why at least, but leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are able to. So thank you so much for listening, and as always, thank you for discovering the music within.